Good morning to the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you all to the virtual sessions of the Career Guidance Program, AVENIR 2023.
The ongoing event, AVENIR, initiated its proceeding on the 7th of December with Career Talk sessions at Indian School Dasit.
Online Career Talk sessions are scheduled for today, 8th December, streaming from Indian School Dasit, followed by the Career Expo at Al Falaj Hotel.
The valedictory function will be held at Indian School Dasit on 9 December, followed by the Career Expo at Al Falaj Hotel.
We are delighted to extend a warm welcome to one and all for AVENIR 2023, a forerunner in career guidance event, which is meticulously organized by Indian School Dasit under the aegis esteemed Board of Directors, Indian Schools in Oman. This invaluable event is a beacon of knowledge, resources, and expert guidance carefully designed to illuminate the path toward future career choices. As we witness how education options are becoming increasingly intricate, making informed decisions about one's career journey is ever challenging. AVENIR 2023 seeks to address these challenges by offering a comprehensive platform filled with insights, information, and expert advice on various university courses and services.
That we ponder upon as we embrace ourselves to explore a sea of options that lay ahead of us. It is a question that opens the avenues for a plethora of opportunities in specific fields. When we embark on this journey of finding our true interest and pursuing our goals, AVENIR steps in, guiding and inspiring students as they prepare for change, transition, growth, and realization of their aspirations.
Mr. Shravan Shetty, the speaker for this session, is here to give us a brand new perspective on new categories in the educational field, a spark of an information as the ability to light up our future. Shravan Shetty is an alumnus of Ohio University. He is an accomplished career coach and speaks extensively on employability skills, augmenting career competencies aligning to the future of work. He has designed, developed, and deployed 1,750 plus programs for educational institutions, Fortune 500 companies, as well as social sector organizations from Infosys, ITC, UNDP, UNICEF, United Nations to organizations such as TAPMI Business School, Master Jobs Malaysia, amongst others.
He is accredited Certified Career Services professional from NCDA USA, as well as an Asia Pacific Career Development Association Certified Career Analyst. He holds credentials in Transaction Analysis, NLP, amongst others. He has served as jury member for entrepreneurial and leadership programs for young people from schools, B-schools to aspiring entrepreneurs. In 2023, he was shortlisted amongst the top 100 future leaders. Let's listen to the expert talks where students and parents alike can equip themselves with the insights shared so that they may make wise career decisions. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to future-proof your data science and analytics career. I believe that all of us are future of work explorers. This is so because we prepare in the present so that we can, do well in the future. Benjamin Disraeli, the former Prime Minister, said success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. And all of us are individuals who prepare in the present so that we can succeed in the future. Edward Deming, the father of total quality management, said, without data, you're just another person with an opinion. It's important for us to, excuse me, is somebody, the slides are moving, excuse me. Just want to check. So Edward Deming, the father of total quality management, said that without, I don't know why just a second. Just give me 1 second. Just live. Okay, let me just restart my presentation. As I was saying, Benjamin Disraeli, the former Prime Minister, said that success occurs when preparation meets opportunity. When we prepare in the present, we are able to take control of the future and do well in the future. The data science and analytics career space is a field where it requires a lot of preparation to do well because technology is impacting everything that we are doing. Edward Demings, the father of total quality control, said, without data, we are just a person with an opinion. Today, whether we are in the classroom or in an office space, when the CEO says something or the principal says something or a student says something, we don't take it at face value anymore. The moment we can access internet, we go to Google and check whether what the person has said is true or not. So data is most definitely the new oil. There is no doubt about that. And it's far more precious than oil or diamonds. Oil, for example, is something which totally transformed the progress of mankind. But oil by itself was not very specifically the reason for our progress. Along with oil came the Industrial Revolution and the building of automobiles. Through transportation and logistics, today we can go to any part of the world and do trade and commerce. Whenever you had oil, oil was just oil. But what really made oil useful was the fact that it could be fueling machines of all types to ensure that we could really evolve as a human race. Now, data science and data analytics are two fields which are constantly talked about in an integrated fashion. They're not the same. Both involve data to gain insights, but however, data science involves using data to build models that can predict future outcomes. So, for example, all the medical data that's available on the coronavirus and how the pandemic impacted different parts of the world, if all that data is captured, including how it impacted different countries, different people of different ages, and the impact on health, it's possible data science to really prepare for a lot of different outcomes. It's like, as young people, you would have seen the Avengers movie where Doctor Strange is visualizing, different outcomes which are possible in a way so that Thanos can be stopped from, destroying the world by hitting the button, if so we can say so. Now, data analytics is something that is very specific to looking at analyzing past data so that we can take better decisions in the future. So this could be when you see football matches and cricket matches, you can see that a lot of coaches today of the top football teams, top cricket teams, are looking at the performance of their bowlers or batsmen and fielding to see how they can improve their future performance. To get more specific, data analytics includes areas as data engineering and machine learning. There is a lot of usage of statistical and computational methods using a lot of different science tools, data science tools. Newer tools are being built so that application can be more widely focused to build new algorithms as well. And as I said earlier, data analytics involves analyzing data to gain insights and to inform future decisions as such. Now, whenever we mention data science, we can also see people saying, is it a better opportunity to go into artificial intelligence or machine learning? Data science is just data. The future seems to be, mostly so on the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Just to, bring it all together, artificial intelligence, data science, machine learning, all of them are players on the same football team, right? They're not actually competing together. They're working together so that, they can really do a lot more. So let's take a deeper look on that. We can see that the pillars of data science are machine learning, artificial intelligence. Today, when we look at something like ChatGPT, right? In the first version of ChatGPT, you could see only information and ask ChatGPT questions only related up till, let's say, 2-3 years ago. The newer versions also includes 2022, 23, for example. What GPT is doing is it's actually accessing a lot of information which is already stored and then using AI chatbots to be able to unlock information for you and help query process questions that you're asking it. So in a way, what we're looking today is every part of human life, there is some data which is coming out, whether it is, if you look at day-to-day inflation, let's, for example, take a quick look at the tools that we use. On a daily basis, I'm sure you're using Fitbits or you're using other fitness watches to pace yourself and to see how you're exercising. Now, what it does is it does predictive modeling at a really micro level to tell you what you should do next in terms of after you've hit a certain number of steps, done a few exercises. It'll also, help you move forward to being, more fit. Similarly, insurance companies use this data to predict if somebody is, visiting KFC a lot more. In the future, you will find that that data is going to be tapped by the insurance companies to charge you a higher premium because you're not taking care of your health. So that's also predictive modeling to a large extent. And if you are, eating salads and keeping yourself really fit, then data science ensures that the insurance companies will, charge you less premium because you're taking care of your health. So we can see how business intelligence, traditional methods, and machine learning are coming together. So to break it down, there are 3 aspects which we are focused on, which data science and analytics helps with, which is complex data analysis, which could be weather, COVID data, predictive modeling for future outcomes, recommendation generation, and data visualization. We'll come to it in a minute. Let's look at aspects like Netflix, right? So all of you must be having some OTT platform which you're using. Now, based on what you're watching, what it does is data science and data analytics comes together to first create a broad science for the OTT business itself to see how the algorithms can work. Very specifically on Netflix, based on the content that it has and what you view, it'll start showing you recommendations on what you should use next. So let's say you're on Amazon and you're purchasing something. If you're on Amazon and you're purchasing something, you will find that it will give you, recommendations on what you can purchase later. So what we are seeing here is an example of recommendation generation. And the next part is data visualization. So a lot of companies today are also having people who are non-technical, who don't understand technical data, but are on the management side. So for them, it will show them, charts and other easy to access pictorial representations to be able to understand complex information to take better decisions. It could be people who are in the Coca-Cola distribution channel mechanism to see which specific drink, should be stocked up as against which should not be for certain regions in a particular city, right? So these are some examples. Airbnb also uses it to track its guest behavior to see what can be recommended if a guest shows up at a different Airbnb location, which could be even in a different country. So we can see in a nutshell the basics of what data science and analytics is. And I'm sure you now have a decent understanding of what data science and what data analytics is. Now, why should you get into this industry? Because almost every aspect that we look at in today's world, right? Any field, any domain, there is an opportunity for application of data science, application of data analytics, and the industry has been growing at a 40% year on year, and it's expected to grow more because just as every sector has requirements and people build a better understanding with certain application platforms that data science can create, then in that broader platform that data science creates in terms of domain specific understanding, data analytics can be applied business-wise based on who's a stakeholder and who's looking to specifically use it. So it's like a really good career path. Now let's take a quick look at how you can go about it. So in general, whenever we're picking a career path, an ideal career path needs to have a sweet spot between what you like, what you're good at, and also kind of give you the opportunity to earn the income which will support the lifestyle that you want to have for yourself. So let's take a deeper look at this. So these three circles now pop up into helping us understand that what we love doing should also be able to provide something that the world needs, some problems that we can solve in the real world. And when people see that the value that we're unlocking with our problem-solving skills and our day-to-day application, there's a lot of growth opportunity for us. So how do you decide whether data science is for you, data analytics is for you? It's important to see whether you have an aptitude for it, right? So when I say aptitude, I mean that you need to be generally interested in mathematics, statistics, and in real-world problem solving. It will also require you to pick up a little bit of technology tools and skills if you're on the analytics side, a lot more technology and skills if you're going to be on the data science front. You definitely need to commit to this. This is not a career path where you just study once and you're done with it. You just learn the tools and then you get on to the job. You need to consistently upskill yourself. You need a lot of expert support, mentoring also to ensure that you can do well in this field. So as I was saying, it's important for you, whether you're a data analyst or a data scientist, when we look at this Venn diagram, to know maths and stats. The extent of maths and stats that you need to know along with computer science is greater for a data scientist. A data analyst needs to have a maths and stats focused brain, but also needs to understand how to use the tools from an application perspective, but not really to develop it or build it like a data scientist. Now, an added area is as you start going from job to job or you're working for a consulting company, your clients will be from different domains. They could be from banking, insurance, sports. So you need to build some understanding of that particular field so that you'll be able to help the users explain to you what are the challenges they're facing, how the data they're collecting can be better collected, how you can tell them, how to optimize and use the data. So for example, doctors or hospitals might be collecting a lot of medical information, but not all the information that is being collected can be used right now. So it's important to see, as somebody who's a data scientist or a data analyst, like what are the use cases and how you can help them do that. There are different levels of competence that you can build. You begin with like an undergraduate course, and that will take you to a certain position, a certain set of opportunities in your career field. Now, after getting at least 4 to 5 years of work experience, if you move on to a master's, you have more scope and opportunity to build your skill sets to solve deeper, wider problems. There are a certain set of people who get into PhDs also, and these are funded. And this takes you well on your route to be a well-established and well-respected data scientist. But yes, this requires a lot of commitment. So let's take a closer look at what the undergraduate course basket looks like. You primarily have let's say 2-3 different tracks. You can take up any undergraduate program in engineering or a bachelor's in computer science program, which could be, you could specifically pick a certain area like artificial intelligence or machine learning or data science, and then still come into job roles with this. It requires you, even if you choose to be an expert in AI, there will be applications in data science. If you are in machine learning, as I said, all of us are playing on the same football team. So coming from a background in maths and stats and picking up, computer science tools, platforms will also help you get into the field of data science. But if you're clear that you're not somebody who wants to be so much on the technology side, you want to be on having a working understanding of technology and tools, but you don't want to be on the programming, AI, machine learning side or the data science tech side, but you want to be in that space where you have a grounding in maths and stats, but you are also picking up the tools to be on the business analytics side. You can, either come from a math statistics background and then go into business analytics, or you can take up an undergraduate program in business studies where you are, picking up electives which is related to data analytics, business analytics. These are some options open for you. Going a little more deeper to see what could be the different module subjects that you will be looking at. On the tech side, you'll be looking at machine learning, you'll be looking at algorithm, system architecture, big data. However, if you're looking at, math stats, you will, in that track, be, exposed to taking up subjects on math stats, as well as a little bit of software programming and usage of AI tools. The other option would be to have some of these as micro electives in a larger business studies or a business analytics program. You can also see that usually during this program, either it is taught to you as part of the course, if you're taking math stats in terms of, or the tech side where you'll be taught all these data science programming languages, or you can also pick it up on the side if you're going for a business management course and you've not yet made up your mind whether you want to be in business analytics or not. Then you can, take up a business management program, learn this on the side, and then get into it, after doing some internships and seeing whether this field is for you. This is just a quick look for you to be familiar with, to look at the different popular data science tools that young people are picking up while they're in college or post-college. They're doing full-fledged courses in this. You might not, believe it, but for sure, even Microsoft Excel is like a primary data analytics tool, and you can automate it with macros by putting in certain features. You can program it to work like a semi-automated data analytics tool to filter data and to manage information. Tableau is a data visualization tool where you can actually see how the data can be better represented in charts and others. So there are, these different tools. This is just for you to be aware of that. These are some of the things that you should pick up as you pursue a career path in data science or data analytics. Of course, when you are in grade 11 and 12, the question is, which could be the top countries that you're looking at in terms of data science and analytics? India might be an option for you. However, that's a country where all of you, considering your access to networks, will have a lot of information on India. But looking at the overall global platform, these are the top 10 countries that you could look at: the United States, UK, Germany, Australia, Canada, Norway, Switzerland, Denmark, Italy, and Poland. These would be the 10 top countries for you to pursue your studies in data science and analytics. Let's take a quick look at some of these universities, 18 universities across different countries. Here's a set of the top 3 with no specific ranking. I've just picked 3 in terms of selection of campus placements, learning opportunities, how the faculty are, at first glance, just for you to start thinking about what could be the universities that you could look at. So this is Canada, Australia, and Denmark for you, 9 universities there. Let's take a quick look at US, Germany, and France as well. So I've really plugged US and Germany together primarily because when we look at geographically, people are gravitating towards US, on the US, Canada, Australia, that basket of countries. And when you look at Europe, Germany definitely is the top country to go to, not just so in terms of looking at it from a point of view as it's heavily focused on technologies, known for its breakthrough innovations in different fields. They also have a very robust program, even up to the PhD level, for data science and analytics. It's for you to, dwell on. Moving on, let's look at the eligibility criteria. So now most of the big schools across the world, I'm keeping aside India as a separate discussion point, you will need to, take these SAT exams or an equivalent for most of these big schools, colleges, and the universities. In the SAT, you need to get a score about 1,200 plus to get an entry into really good universities. What's good for you is in your academics, if you've got a strong foundation in maths and science, that's an added advantage when you're doing your SOP and you go through the application process. One thing for all of you to keep in mind is if you're looking at Germany, Germany requires 13 years of education. So after your 12 years of school education, you will need to take up an additional year of study. It would be good if that additional year of study is related to the field. Your prospects become better, which could be like a diploma in software programming or additional studies that you can do which are aligned to the data science course or the data analytics course that you're picking, so that they can see that the additional year has been put to good use by you. Keep this in mind. Of course, whenever you're applying to these countries, you will need to either have acceptable IELTS score or a TOEFL score or a PTE, which is by Thomas Assessments. These are all equivalent tests where English is not your mother tongue. This is a test of your proficiency so that you will be able to, on admission into these universities, do well in the courses. One point of caution is some of the German universities may not be completely English in the medium of instruction. So please check the German university that you're applying to and see what's the focus there, whether the medium of instruction will be in German or in English. I'm sure there is a lot of information and a lot of curiosity that you have to know, how can you figure out, which college to go for in which country. So I would really recommend that you explore these websites, qs.com, which is like a higher education analytics company. Over the past decade or so, they've been doing fantastic work by analyzing all the different universities in terms of performance, campus placements, teaching methodology, exposure to real world of work, simulations like CAPSIM and stuff. So go to the qs.com site and you will be able to see country-wise. This also covers the Middle East and also covers India. But specifically, if you're looking at colleges and universities in India, you can go to careers360.com and explore more information on that. Now, that's something that we are always looking at is how do we really understand what's really going to happen in the course? And once I'm done with the course, how should my work profile or portfolio look like as a student? And sometimes we have this thought process in our minds that if only I could peek in to see what a fresher student from data science or data analytics, how does their work look like, projects look like, I might be in a better position to see whether I want to go to a particular university or whether this field is for me because I can see the output of their work. So careerfoundry.com has examples of student portfolios. These are students which include somebody who's a newly qualified data analyst, or it could be somebody who's worked for a few years, then gone back to do their master's or PhD. So when you look up this particular link, and you will see there are top 9 portfolios from across the world, which has been featured. This includes screenshots of the projects that they've done. This will also include some tips and examples on how you can shape your own, student portfolio as and when you enroll into one of these courses. So it will really give you like a short to medium-sized outlook in terms of how you can pick a particular university, also what's expected of it in the real world. How will, some of these smaller projects that you do, what kind of problems you will be solving. So it'll give you a really good peek into what is the kind of work that you will be doing, which can also become a test for you to decide whether this career is something that you want to be in and this is something you want to do in and day out, right? So we always say as career coaches that it's important not just to go for something which is trending, but we also need to see whether it suits our personality, our aptitude, our attitude, because that alignment is what will get us into that field. A lot of young people decide to go into a hotel management course, for example, thinking that the ambience is very glamorous. But when you go and intern or you go and watch, you'll find that most of the service staff in the hospitality business are always on their feet and toes. They don't necessarily get to enjoy the ambience. So if you're really high on service orientation, you get into that field. Similarly, in terms of the data science and data analytics space, you really need to see if you're cut out for it, because this requires short, medium, and long-term commitment for you to consistently upskill yourself. I'll explain a little bit in detail about the commitment part. One of the things that we look at when it comes to choosing a profession is, once we do the course, we also would like to know what are the kind of different roles that are available for us, right? So we know that data scientist is something which is like the peak, right? Somebody who can really, make breakthrough innovations, but you don't get to data scientist immediately, right? So you have different roles like a data analyst, data engineer, data architect, data storyteller also, because a lot of times what happens is people are great at doing the analysis, but if you're not able to articulate it and simplify it for the client, through a easily understandable story, whether it is at the stage where your organization is trying to convince a client to pick up your, the data consulting services that your organization is pitching, or midway through a project when it needs to be explained what's the progress and what kind of problems that can be solved for the client, because the client will also need to then explain it to their team, which might be on the non-technical side, on how this data can be used by them to improve, let's say, client satisfaction, if it's a consumer services company, or if it's an event management company, or if it's a medical healthcare company or an IT company, so, or banking services. So you need to also build your communication skills in parallel. It's not just about technical skills when you look at advancing in the field of data science and analytics. Your communication skills are also very, very important. On the right side, what you see is machine learning scientist, engineer, business intelligence developer, database administrator, tech specialized roles. All of this requires a lot of deep tech skills. So on the left, you can see is, roles which are open to people from both a data science and analytics background. On the right side, what you see is purely tech roles, which requires a lot of commitment in terms of picking up the technology tools, practicing it, really putting in all your time, energy, and effort into mastering it. Gary Hamel, one of the futurists in the world of business, said that the empires of the future are empires of the mind. Now, each one of you young people are what we can call as digital natives, right? We as a generation, grew up at a point of time, just giving you an India context example, we had probably two TV channels, like a DD1 and something else to watch it while we were growing up. And similarly, I'm sure when you go to different countries, across the world, you had, maybe 2 or 3 TV channels. But as we grew older, we could see that, technology is growing. And today we're at a point of time where there are hundreds of channels, hundreds of OTT platforms. There's enough entertainment for you to wake up in the morning today and for the next 100 years, just watch something on the net, right? On OTT platforms. And you could go on for even 300 years for that matter. But you young people who are listening to me right now across all these schools, you are digital natives. You're born with a device in your hand, right? You intuitively knew how to use a mobile phone better than most adults who are 10 years, 20 years older than you. And you have a certain affinity for technology. And as we are speaking about it right now, as much as data science is a hard field, it might make it hard to learn. It might make it really hard, as the founder of DataQuest says. But what's important is, today, when we look at our role models in life, whether it's a Usain Bolt, whether it is a Messi in football, or you take a look at, cricket players, in any field, whoever is your role model, if it's a musician, they are all successful today because they're putting in the daily effort. They are looking at the fact that they have to not just learn by themselves, but they also need mentors. All the great, iconic people we look up to in every field of life, whether it's science, arts, analytics, any space, you need mentoring at different levels to be able to get feedback so that you can use the feedback to develop yourself all around. So it's important for you to understand that it's not just pure motivation, but you also need to get good teachers. So very early in life, it's important for you when you join a new university is to get onto LinkedIn, build your profile, start reaching out to people or alumni of the college that you've enrolled in, talk to people who are already in the field and see what are the new tools you need to pick up, so that you're constantly upskilling yourself, cross-skilling yourself, and reskilling yourself. Because over the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, Unlike our generation, where it took 20 years plus for us to get to a mobile phone and use it, you're going to be, looking at technology impacting your work life and your career very rapidly, right? You are a generation which is seeing Chat GPT or AI as a tiny dragon, and you are a little older than that. So if you learn to tame it and ride it well, ride these new technologies, you can definitely be successful in any career path. So to come close to looking at what we have progressed over the past 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it's important for you as of now at this specific inflection point to kind of summarize everything that we've discussed so far, decide on the country of choice. And when I say country of choice, plan for the mid to long term. Pick a country where once you go and study there, you can work for a while there, work visa is easy, work permits are available, and get to work on identifying internships right from the first week that you're there. Start thinking about how you can work in that country, right? So when you're picking the cluster of universities in that particular country, see what is the opportunity in terms of companies that are there in that city, or at a measurable distance, overnight journey, for example, because it will also give you like the mindset to start thinking about your work life as you're in college. Please ensure that when you're checking these universities, you have your criteria set right. Don't just look purely as a country where you can travel on the weekend. That's also important, but it's also important for you to ensure that you have the opportunity to develop yourself in that career path in that country, right? So look at it, because a lot of times what happens when you go to a particular country, you complete your education and you go travel back to another country. Sometimes they say that, hey, this experience of yours is very relevant to that country. Even though today data science and analytics is a global career path, it's good for you to work in MNC companies, so that even if you shift countries after your education, with the might of the internship project, you're able to, line up a job for yourself in any country that you go to. So it's important that you leverage your college years really well. Do micro learning projects when you're at the college. Take up projects where you can do a little amount of small data work. It could be for a food joint which is in your college campus. It could be some other retail business which is close by, a sports merchandise shop. It's important to start applying what you learn in these courses. On the individual front, what I would say that please explore and read up more about data science and data analytics. See if it's really for you. If you are not interested in maths and stats, if you are not at all interested in that basket, it's best to not go into data science and analytics just because it's trending. Please ensure career suitability and you have the commitment for it, because it needs to be also aligned to your interest and passion, because this is something that you're going to do for the rest of your life. So if you want to connect further beyond the scope of this and you want to collect more information, parents can get in touch with me on LinkedIn, connect with me there. I can also connect you to people whom I know who are in the data science analytics field. You can talk to some of them to see if you have any questions for people who are already working in that field. This would include somebody who's a fresh graduate, also people who have work experience. The other link is a link to the different things that I do my work. It also is the link to SlideShare, where I put up some of the different career presentation talks that I give up there. So you can explore. If you're interested in other fields also, you can access my presentations there. You can navigate my world of work. Before I close the session and we go into the Q&A, I have just one more slide for you. The best way to do data science is to do data science the way you've learned how to do, how to ride a bike. Only by doing it and practicing it, we can get to know it and get better at it. Whether it's karate, painting, football, you can't just watch it and learn. You have to start playing the game. So start with learning Excel, start using how you can use MS Excel better, develop your skills in that, pick up the other tools, and I'm sure you'll get going and be successful in the field that you get into. So thank you for a patient hearing. I'm open for questions. I hope I'm doing okay on time, Pradyum.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We are indeed delighted to have you with us today. Thank you for the valuable information, sir. We have a few questions from our audience.
So here comes the first question. How the AI tools related to data analytics affects the reliability and authenticity of research work. I'll repeat the question. How the AI tools related to data analytics affects the reliability and authenticity of research work.
To a very large extent, thank you for the question. I say to a very large extent because see, AI tools are tools which have just been, built, they're being developed, they're being, used in the field of data science and analytics. So what will happen right now is, let's assume that let's take a situation where you're using like an AI tool to make to specifically use it in the data analytics field to run it for a football team. I'm assuming that a lot of you watch football or you follow some other sports. So you basically pick, let's say, 10 players and you ask it to start analyzing data through different videos. Now, what will happen is that it will start analyzing it and it will make errors, right? Because it is like you have to train a cat or a puppy, or so that it is aligned to, it does what it's required to do in a manner which is convenient to everybody else, right? So you need to train the cat, whether it is to go and poop in a litter tray. So similarly with the AI tool, the reliability and validity is tested time and time again, and you keep optimizing it to better it, right? So that's how you ensure that AI tools are made more relevant to the world of data science and analytics, because these tools need to be kept on improving on a daily basis in terms of how you architect it and how you optimize these tools. I hope that answers the question. Any other questions, Ashlyn? No.
Yes. So here comes the next question.
Thanks,
How
Pradyum.
can
Go ahead.
students stay updated with the latest tools and technologies in data analytics? Sir, I repeat. How can students stay updated with the latest tools and technologies in data analytics?
Thank you for the question, Pradyum. So I would say, just like you stay updated in terms of your favorite rock star or musician and you subscribe to on the YouTube channel. For example, if you're into Korean music, you put updates on all the channels where, different Korean rock stars come up. And you also have these talk shows where they discuss this, right? So similarly, we need to subscribe on social media to see what are the new tools in the field. That's one thing. Second is, today you have a lot of platforms online like Coursera, edX, and these different platforms for education. So you can enroll and take up micro courses, small courses, so that you can keep developing yourself and upskilling yourself. So the first starting point is start learning Excel, start using it, then move on to the other data science tools, which I spoke about, with a little bit of understanding of maths and statistics. You can then pick up R as a tool, which is used for use in the field, which is the open source software. So I think baby steps and following it with passion will really help you stay updated on these tools. Thank you so much for the question, Pradeep. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir, for the constructive views and information that you shared with us today. We are sure that the students and parents would have had a fulfilling and an enriching session. Hope you had a fruitful time. Thank you for.
Thank you, Ashlyn and Pradyum. I really, admire the way you compared the show right from the beginning. All the best for your future. And I would also like to congratulate and wish the organizing team of the Indian School Darset, the teachers who have kept in touch with me to ensure that we are on time, on schedule, right from over the past 48 hours, as well as the principal and the organizing team of Indian School Darset. Wish you all the best for the remaining career conference conclave, however you want to call it, for AVENIR 2023. All the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for your cooperation. This is Ashlyn and Pradyum signing off on behalf of Indian School Darset for AVENIR 2023. Bye and have a great day.